Welcome to another edition of the Exciting Whites Podcast. I'm David.
And I am Kaylin.
And we are here to talk about delicious white wine and everything else that's on the table. Mm-hmm. How are you today?
Well, you know.
Oh, it's braces month.
It's braces time.
Yay, braces time. It's braces time. Hold on. Before we launch into braces time, I feel it's important to talk about the wine.
Oh, right.
Because we'll go into talking about our metal mouth situation, and we'll be drinking this the whole time, and then we'll have not ever introduced it.
Have you had a sip yet?
I have.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Go ahead. What is it, though?
Today we are drinking the Fetzer Gewurztraminer. Building a better tomorrow since 1968.
That's their slogan?
That's their slogan.
I wonder if they're also a construction company as well.
You know, I was wondering that.
Build
Fetzer
back
Builders.
Better.
Build back better Fetzer Gewurztraminer.
All their workers are happy because while they're doing construction, they're also
drinking this delicious
wine.
Honey, apricot, and peach flavors infused into this delicious Gewurztraminer. Breathe in for aromas of rose petals and honeysuckle in this crisp white.
Oof.
It is medium sweet. Supposedly, I would say this is very sweet, but
to me it is
considered to be a medium sweet white wine, vintage and bottled by Fetzer Vineyards in Hopland, Mendocino County, California. Fetzer meets rigorous standards of social and environmental performance. 100% renewable energy since 1999. The winery water is recycled and certified zero waste. They reuse or recycle over 95% of the waste that is produced while making this wine. The alcohol content is 12% ABV.
Where is this made?
California, Mendocino County.
So it's a German wine made in California.
Yes,
by a company whose branding does look nice, but I would say, I
taste the honey in there for sure. This is a very deliciously dessert-ish
just a very
wine.
Strange slogan, building a better tomorrow since 1968.
I
feel like they're trying to sell me a home that they've constructed, building better dwellings.
The whole, the description on it, I feel like a lot of wines will go into how they make it or the more description of the flavors or like what you could eat it or eat with it. This company is more concerned with wanting us to know that they're big on renewable energy, which I think is great.
I would say, though, this would be delicious with almost everything that you would have a white with. Yeah. I mean, pasta,
or
fish,
a cake,
poultry. You could have it. This would be about as sweet as I want to go for dessert, personally. But
I
feel
love
like
this
is
with
good
a
enough
creme
to drink.
brulee
You could
or
drink
like
this without anything.
New York style cheesecake.
Kevin, do you like a sweet?
Occasionally.
How do you?
Pour me a little bit.
It is.
Kevin cuts in.
On occasion, when something we think is real good has been poured, Kevin will, in his little tiny glass, have a sample over there in the control booth, which isn't really much of a booth. Sort of more of a.
It's a desk area.
More of a desk and counter area. Where it is large enough you could hide a body in there. What do you think of that?
That's delightful, actually.
Yeah.
It's
delicious.
Yeah, it's not super sweet.
No, it's not like a Moscato.
But it is. There is a caramel sort of heaviness to it.
The honey is what I taste,
and that's what it is. It's thick, but it's
the after.
We've had this type of wine other places, and I would say it's on a zonk, which means a takeaway or a bad or a negative, is just that I think it is a little, it's a little sweet. And so, but anyway, I do enjoy it. So one thing I do enjoy a lot more since I've got adult braces put on, ding, 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 ding,
ding, ding, ding, ding,
is wine, because what happens for me anyway is like this isn't really as interesting as I probably think it is, but I had teeth. I had teeth pulled in
Same.
order to make room for crowding.
Yeah.
And I just was dreading this my whole life. And it was like a reason I didn't do it was because I just was like busy living my life. And my teeth were like, burr, 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 but like,
How was that?
you know, burr, 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 but
Yeah.
you know, like, like stuff kind of going all over, like a
Yeah.
Q-Bert's, level.
Who?
Qbert.
She doesn't know about
It's
Q-Bert.
a old video game.
Oh, I was thinking Dilbert, like the old
It
comic
stacks
strip.
of cubes. Q-Bert
Yeah.
hops around and basically this
Q-Bert.
cube of different cubes that are stacked up. And my teeth were kind of like, burr, 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 like all Q-Bert's cubes
Great.
in this metaphor.
Yeah. Yeah. Lost
Delicious
to me.
Gewurztraminer. Anyway, so what's been happening is because I got these teeth pulled, they're making space, and these spacer bracket deals in my mouth that feel like cattle grade, fencing, are pulling my teeth apart. And what happens is sometimes, especially after eating, I notice that my gums and my teeth area, because they're under duress all the time, have a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And when I drink a wine, I absorb it faster. And I'm just like, oh, and it feels nice. Like I enjoy the immediacy of the alcohol with the flavor, almost like,
As a reward.
well, I'm just saying, it's the only upside to having these in my mouth, I know,
Other
eventually.
than the final product.
Other than the final product, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's been the worst. I know you've been going through it too.
Yeah, so my whole thing is we're going to be traveling in a couple weeks. And so I realized that the dates of our travel are over the date where I'm supposed to go in and get my braces
Same.
tightened.
Yeah, same. Mine is the day before.
So, anyway, basically, I had called the orthodontist and was wondering if there was something that maybe they could do earlier so that I would have a couple weeks before we went on this trip, so that while on the trip I don't have to worry about, like, can I
Not
eat this?
eating.
My teeth hurt so bad.
So you've had more problems with eating than I've had. Like my teeth don't
Yeah.
hurt to bite crunch as
Yeah.
much. Even that, if I
my
push
teeth
on them,
feel like they're going to fall out. Like I have no
Yeah.
strength. It just feels like whenever I take a bite, my teeth feel like they're going to crumble in between my gums.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
I end up eating a lot of cream of wheat or protein shakes. And I tend to lose weight, like 5 pounds or whatever, each time I get my braces tightened, which I don't need to be doing. So, so for me, it's just like, it's kind of a headache. So anyway, I call and I ask if there's anything available. And they're like, no, but we'll get you in at the end of the month. So now it's delaying.
Well,
And then
that's all right.
then they tell me every time that this happens, like if I have some kind of conflict during the time when I'm supposed to come in to get them adjusted, they're like, well, you are
a lot further
you're
along.
you're adding more time
Yeah,
to
I
the
mean,
end
blah,
of
blah.
your thing, so you're not going to be done by the time that you wanted to be done. And I'm like, okay,
By 1
I'm an
week, it's
adult.
like-
I recognize
Right.
that.
They talk to you like a child.
like,
Well, because they deal with children at the orthodontist. But
for sure.
But the thing I have not enjoyed, have you had this? Sometimes I'll be comfortable for a time with them where they are,
Mm-hmm.
but then there is movement in a 24-hour period, and all of a sudden something
Yes.
is rubbing in a new spot.
Yes.
And I've been having that a lot. I have a particularly like out of place tooth down here on the bottom,
yeah.
and that guy has been just really getting my front lip
Mm-hmm.
real bad. And that one's just been just a real struggle.
Yeah, I got used to my braces. I've had them basically like this for probably like 3 weeks, I think, since the last time I got them tightened. And about 2 weeks after, I was like, oh, that's great. I don't feel pain anymore. I'm able to eat whatever I want. And then all of a sudden last week, my bottom teeth start separating and they hurt so bad. And my lip
Something
has
crawled
all
out.
these blisters like on the bottom. I'm like, this isn't fair.
fair.
This is not great.
What do you mean
but
fair?
I
I
am
mean-
really happy that my adult tooth, which was lying horizontally across my
I wondered
my
if you were going to
jaw
talk
here.
about this or
Yeah.
or leave that
well,
one
he's,
out
He's starting to
for
come in.
horror purposes. you know?
He's starting to come in. So I've got a little chain attached to the tooth that's pulling it
Like a
down
titan.
into place because I never lost my baby teeth.
Mythical beast.
Yeah.
Chained the teeth.
But they started getting loose, and so they're like, let's make sure your adult tooth comes in. So now I've got this space here where they pulled out my baby tooth, and there's a chain pulling it down into place. And every week or so, I'm able to look at it and be like, oh, here you are. You are
Like a
arriving.
little plant growing in your mouth.
It's exactly like that.
Do
I'm
you-
propagating some succulents right now, and it just reminds me of that.
No more potted plant talk. It's been a lot of potted plant talk. I don't know offline, not on the show.
Not
but
on this
I don't know
show.
if you recognize how much the plants come up.
The plants excite me.
I see that.
Yeah.
Do you believe that
Me?
there is a pre-written destiny or fate
Oh.
to the world and to the way things work, or do you believe that we just live in a vacuous chaos of space, and then anything that can happen will happen
Yes.
to us?
Yes.
Yes and no. You're saying yes.
I'm saying yes to all of it. I
I
tell
s-
people that I
Yes
believe in
to all of it.
everything.
I believe in everything.
I believe in everything. So here's the thing.
Do you believe in magic?
I do.
In a young girl's
In
heart.
a young girl's heart. Yes, I do believe that we live in a world of chaos. I also believe that we live in a world of order. It's like a yin and a yang type of a thing. In order for there to be chaos, there has to be order. In order for there to be order, there has to be chaos.
Sorry, Airbender, you need to pick one.
As
you need to pick one.
As
need to
you
pick
know, I
in this.
very much enjoy playing The Sims.
Yeah.
And I think I think life is sort of like that, in that there may be some rules that constrain everything to a certain extent, but there is a variety of small changes that each of us are able to make by making decisions. However, I do believe that no matter what decision we make, it all leads to the same predestined path.
Love on the Spectrum has the character Danny. I don't know if that's her real name or not.
Yeah, Dani. I follow her on Instagram.
When she gets on a roll sometimes, and you get on a roll sometimes, there is a similar cadence to the way it rolls out, and that one was one of those particular
Well, I'm not sure if
moments for me.
you're making fun of me
No,
by
I mean,
saying
I
that,
just mean that-
but I'll take it as a compliment
mean
because I
that
follow her very well.
Her way of explaining something sometimes is very detailed and very lengthy.
Yeah.
And sometimes your way of explaining something is very detailed and very
I
lengthy.
feel
Just
like
less
in order
animation,
for
it's the
you
same.
to understand what
less
I'm
animation.
thinking, and in order to
She doesn't like
understand
animation.
in order to understand my point, you need to be filled in on all of the details that come before.
I don't know. I don't know. Is that...
I don't feel like I explained
Do you think
that
you're
too
insulting
long.
the intelligence of the listener, perhaps, a little bit?
No.
You're not. You're just
No,
assuming
because when I just
everybody
say
needs
my
the-
point, people are like, what the heck? And then I have to go and explain. So I figure I'm just going to save some time, explain, and arrive at the point.
You know what?
And I feel like I
in
did that pretty
conversing-
quickly
No, you're
this
fine.
time.
But I like in conversing with her sometimes, as in to tutorials in a video game,
Hmm.
but you can't turn them off. You know what I mean? So, like, think of it this way: like you've already done this certain
Yeah,
operation
I
in the
already know
game
about
before, and
it.
you're ready to get on, and it comes up and says, "Just in case you needed to know once again,
Yeah.
this is how you go through these procedural steps." And you have like 3 menus.
Press
Dig
A
down
to
on all this-
jump. Press A to jump.
Proceed to jump.
Yeah. Some people need to know about that, though.
The crafting menu is important because inside the crafting menu, hold on, let me check my notes in the
I enjoy
parentheses.
the crafting menu. And
See?
sometimes I need a refresher.
The tutorials.
So I
Can be
give
turned on.
everyone the information that I wish they would give me.
Right, but sometimes
Treat others the way that you want to be treated. And that is exactly how I would want to be treated, which is how I treat everyone else.
The
I'm
golden
just
rule.
simply saying that
Yeah.
sometimes the shorter, simplistic answer gets the point across.
No, it makes everyone misunderstand me.
Hmm.
And I am tired of that. So I need to give them
Whoa.
all of the
Some force in
information
there.
so that they know exactly what I mean. And maybe that makes people dislike me, but that's
I'll
fine.
be honest. There's been a lot of words, and I still don't understand your position. It's
So-
both were yes.
I think
Yes,
her
it's
position
both
is
and
that she
yes.
thinks that there is an order to the chaos, that
I do.
chaos isn't real.
Well, okay.
So really
for
she's
instance,
answering, but in a
for
hippie
instance,
way.
There's nothing new under the sun. Everything that has happened has already happened.
That's
Everything
a
that is
viewpoint.
pre-written
It's a religious viewpoint too.
I don't.
It is.
I think it's a spiritual viewpoint, but
certainly.
it's not a religious viewpoint.
Everything that's happened under the sun is literally in the Bible.
Sure.
I mean, you're
I'm
quoting
just
the
talking
Bible
about
saying,
like
it is religious.
Many religions refer
That
to this, and many
exact phrase,
philosophies.
though, is biblical.
Right. But many philosophies refer to this too. I do believe in the Akashic Records, where everything is detailed as to what has happened, what will happen, what is currently happening, and
The what?
The Akashic Records.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It's basically like what the Bible describes as the book of life.
So this is like a hidden Bible thing that you is this a YouTube like rabbit hole you went down?
No.
How do you know about this?
I don't remember how I know about this.
No sources.
I'll put some sources.
One of those
It's
sources-
not anything that everyone believes in for sure, but I'm
Little
just saying that's
JFK.
what I believe. And you're asking me what I believe? This is what I believe.
No, I mean the question is
I believe that everything is predestined, but that we are allowed a certain amount of free will in
Yeah.
order to make decisions, but it doesn't matter because the path that you're on will arrive at the same point regardless of what you do.
Then you don't believe in free will.
right.
I believe, so this is what I was talking about The Sims, that I am a player playing the lives of the Sims,
aren't
and
you?
I can control their actions. However, if I turn on free will, they're allowed to do things by themselves. If I don't control them and tell them what to do, they're going to watch TV, or they're going to go and garden, or they're going to like
But at any
make a
moment,
painting.
can dictate what they do.
But at any moment, I can
Then they
dictate
don't
what they
have free
do.
will.
They only have a certain amount of free will. Yes, I can override their free will at any time. And I feel
They
like
have
that's
free
how
time,
it is.
not free will.
They have free will because if they're not being told what to do, they can decide what to do. However, if they're being told what to do, they cannot.
Would you say it's
There's
free
a
will?
modicum of free will.
Would you say
but
it's free will if their possible outcomes are pre-programmed from a group of choices they can make?
So yes and no. So that is exactly true because I think that
Well, it's
each of
exactly
us are
true in that game's
pre-programmed. Each
situation.
of us are pre-programmed with things likes and dislikes, or like things that were passed down in our DNA.
Yeah.
Things are passed down through our family history. Like even if you're adopted, for instance, you might have DNA history, but you also have your current family history that builds up upon, and family traumas and family stories and family, all this kind of things. It builds up into what you are programmed as. And it takes the first 8 years of your life. That's basically when you're trying to teach a kid how to behave and what to think, and like that's when your main personality is built. So when you're pre-programmed to behave in this way and think in this way, you're going to probably choose things in your free will that go back to those first 8 years of your life where you've been pre-programmed.
I fell off the wagon.
So yes,
I did, I'm
you
sorry.
have free choice to do that, but you've also been pre-programmed to do it, which is why I think that no, you need the predestined thing, that we're predestined to do whatever we're going to do. Even though we do have some amount of free will, it's
What
not
evidence
really.
do you have
it doesn't really affect anything.
Why do you believe that, though? What evidence is there to suggest that there is a course laid in front of you and you have a bifurcating set of choices? Why? What evidence do you have that makes that cemented in your mind as I believe this?
I don't have anything. That's just what I believe. You asked me what I thought, and that's what I think.
Right, but I'm asking you because you imply several things here. One,
As
is-
above, so below. So
Okay,
as
one
it is
second.
in the Sims game, that's how I think it is in real life.
well, who's holding the mouse?
Creator.
So you believe in a God. You are not. In this case, there isn't like you're not agnostic. You're not. You're not agnostic. So you're saying chaos doesn't exist.
Chaos
Kevin,
exists. Chaos
No, I
has
don't
to
think- I don't
exist
think
in order
that's
for
true.
order to exist.
Well,
Without order, there is no chaos. Without chaos, there is no order.
That's not what you said before. What you
Yes,
said
it
is that we're
That's exactly what I said before.
What you said before is that we're
Rewind the
pre-programmed. Okay. Kaylin Show. It's Kaylin Show. I'm just gonna go outside because it's Kaylin Show. Can I speak?
You may.
It is possible that you could be completely off base.
Totally. You just asked what I thought. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
not saying that everyone else should think that way.
You saying
I'm
you're
not
saying yes
saying-
to everything. You're not taking a stance on it.
I'm saying yes to everything.
You think that everything could happen.
I believe in everything.
Okay. Is it possible there is no God? for you.
Yes, it's possible, but I don't believe that there's no God.
Okay, so you believe that we were made and that we have a reason for existing and a destination at the end.
Yeah, I do believe that God created everything so that the creator could experience life in all its facets and all its differentials. So I believe that God is in everything.
How?
I don't know. I just think energy and the universe, like everything is all one. And in order to be all one, it has to be sort of faceted as well. So like there's differences in each part of life, but what makes something good is maybe something bad. And what makes something bad is maybe something good. There has to be a difference.
Experiences define the choices and then the personality of the person.
Well, I don't know about the
And that makes
personality of
God.
the person.
Well, you're saying that good can come from bad. Meaning that your whole yin and yang philosophy of there needs to be chaos so that good can exist, because otherwise, well, how would you know a good day if you never had a bad day?
Chaos doesn't mean evil. Chaos just means disorder.
I never said that. I'm saying that there is...
You said chaos and good.
Well,
but those can be two things that are the same.
And beyond picking apart my words, let me pick yours apart then, wherein you can't say yes to both. You can't agree that chaos exists and then also have a predetermined path, because a predetermined path has a beginning and an end. Imagine that you are looking down at a parade, and you see the beginning of the parade, and you see the end of the parade where all the floats come off. But imagine then that you're standing on the sidewalk watching the parade go by. You're seeing these things happen in a linear fashion. They move past you, and you wait until you see the next thing. You have a limited view of what you can see.
Right.
And I think it's more that than any evidence to the fact that we've been created. Only exists in so much that I don't think anything happens by accident in our world. I believe in chaos in the fact that what is made can happen and unexpectedly situations, as we know, working in technology or with having cars or any type of automotive thing. One thing that we know for sure is that whatever can happen happens, and things break down and things can go awry even when we think they're fine. And so that to me is chaos, because it's, if you knew that would happen, or you had planned for that outcome, which is what people do. I mean, they have spares of things or parts or whatever.
Yeah.
Chaos certainly does exist, but order only exists because we agree that there should be some type of order, right? One thing that always happens in every one of these zombie apocalypse shows or movies is that chaos becomes king. Whoever is the strongest, whoever is the biggest army, whoever controls whatever resources is now the self-styled ruler of that region.
But
rinse, wash, repeat for Walking
Dead.
Dead.
But to have somebody be in control of chaos negates the fact that it's chaos.
It's not controlled chaos. It's never... The point is, under what you're saying, that if a zombie apocalypse were to break out, it was predestined to do that, and then the choices that people make in there are their free will, but it's just another Sims game where they're only making choices based on a situation now.
Well, I mean, some of those choices may be their free will, and some of those choices may not. Some
don't
of those
believe in fate.
choices may
Listen,
be pre-programmed into them, or immediately destined to do it. So maybe not predestined. Maybe the creator didn't decide to do that until that moment when they're like, oh, I don't want this person to die. Boop, boop, boop.
If
And
I
then
could
like
have one-
that person won't
if
die
I-
because they're going to make this decision. And that way then it keeps on going, you know?
No. I don't. If I had any evidence, if I could have a UFO encounter,
Yeah.
or if I could see a ghost, or if I could have even just like something beamed into my brain that I could believe,
Yeah.
I would believe. All I have seen is chaos. And that is organized chaos that we live in, I think. Because what makes news, and the reason we have news, and the reason we disseminate information the way we do, and the reason social media is popular is because there's chaos going all the time.
Yeah.
Viral videos are literal chaos. Entertaining chaos.
Yeah.
And not just chaos in the sense that like it's a car crash or somebody running from the police or somebody punching someone else. It's
Or
like
somebody dancing on the top of an 18
You wouldn't think-
wheeler
yeah.
that like dies
Right.
making a TikTok
but,
video.
or like people at a
Crazy.
parade drink too much and get into a brawl with a bunch of people and somebody's
Yeah.
killed.
Yeah.
Like, and somebody films it and then puts it
Yeah.
on YouTube. The point is that you wouldn't think going to a parade is dangerous, or you wouldn't think riding a Ferris wheel
Right.
is dangerous. But when you only see online just all of this, like this bad stuff or these chaotic outcomes, how can there not be chaos? It is chaos. The world is constant chaos. And,
For
and the
sure.
chaos part of it is I believe in the human psyche, there's a part of us that delights in the chaos slightly when we feel like we have control over our world. Mm-hmm. We enjoy watching a little bit of chaos because we live in the moment of thinking, I would never do that. I could never be that
life
person.
without any chaos is boring. Nobody really likes a totally ordered life.
I don't know that that's true.
Well,
know?
there's probably some people that do, but
no-
movies
in no
indicate
way-
that nobody likes a boring life.
I used to believe very deeply that we were created and that we were put here or made and that we had a purpose. And as I've grown older, and I don't mean older and cynical because I don't feel that way. I just feel like I have gone on long enough sort of just believing in mist that never reveals itself really in a sense to me that is concrete enough to get me.
Yeah, unless you have a sort of, religion spiritual experience. You know, like I do remember growing up and being in the church and just everybody like,
right. I mean, it's unnerving.
I never felt that.
Right.
I never,
And
I
you and
wanted to
talked
feel
about
that.
this. We share that.
Yeah, I never felt that. I wanted to feel that. I never felt that.
Did you Kevin, you were religious growing up, right? Mm-hmm. And you still are?
Still am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did feel something there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It affects people differently.
It affects people differently. And that's why I believe that God is in all of us, that God or the creator or the universe, the energy spark is in all of us. And I do believe that everything was created in order to just experience itself. Because you can't experience pain if you haven't experienced what's good.
Right.
And you can't experience what's good unless you've experienced what's bad. Like there's nothing to tell you
But
what
isn't that
is
based on
one
your
or the
personal
other.
preference?
Not necessarily.
Sure it is.
I mean, murder is definitely like everyone will consider that not good.
We agree on a set of precepts, and that is what order is.
Right.
Ironically, though, we don't always agree that murder is bad.
That's true,
that's the whole
especially if
point.
it's done in a way that it, like
If we kill a genocidal dictator, we think it's good.
we think
But
it's
that
good.
is murder.
That's true. That's true.
And just to throw this out there, I mean, and I'm not advocating one way or the other, but the early termination of pregnancies discussion or the abortion discussion borders on this as well,
Right.
about what is or isn't suitable. Even the death penalty, people have argued that it's inhumane and it's been gotten rid of mostly. And I think the death penalty, for certain crimes, is there a crime we agree on in society that is heinous enough to warrant such a thing? I don't know. I feel like killing someone is an easy way out, personally.
Yeah, I
think-
agree. I think that if you live in a nation or in a community where money is scarce and it is difficult to maintain the life of the person who is going about destroying other people's lives, that is the only case where capital punishment should be honored.
Well,
if we live in
it's
this
more
society,
far-reaching,
for
though.
instance,
It's we agree,
but then
though.
people are supporting the prison system or the jail system with their tax money. And so do people really want to maintain the life of a person who destroyed the life of their daughter or their son or their child? You realize that I'm working hard and my tax money is going to pay for this person to stay alive.
I mean, someone.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
So
I
I understand
I hear
that.
this argument, but like a lot of people have broken down like how fiscally taxes get branched out versus what we pay and how that
Sure.
gets funneled in.
It's like a
and
few
who gets
cents
spent,
or
yeah.
whatever. But still, your few cents are going towards keeping that person alive or
Wouldn't it be
eliminating
so?
that person.
So you tell me this then: if somebody performed a heinous crime, and their sentence was immediate death.
But it never is. They have to stay on death row for like 15
Can
years.
I get this out real
You
quick?
may, yes.
If they get like a liquid death situation, right? Like a what would be considered humane, right? Or they're meant to sit in solitary confinement with just meals and walls. Which is more humane, or which is worse?
I think death is more humane.
Of course, and that's the whole point. So you're arguing that you think death is more humane in that case because it would be the person would go mental, right? Is that what you're saying?
You know what's funny? I just watched a video today on YouTube that was like the worst criminals and their reaction to being sentenced to death. And there was one man that was like, please just sentence me to death.
Yeah, I heard about this.
And I was like, what? And he's like, I just feel like being kept incarcerated for a long time is really gonna mess with me psychologically and emotionally. So if you could just like, sentence me to death and like make it quick so I don't have to wait on death row for 15 years, that would be really great.
Well,
just, euthanize me. And then he was like, and then I can come back in my next life. I was like, what the heck? This guy is like, he's like, I'm fine.
But,
he murdered like multiple people.
Yeah,
and I was like,
but
whoa, this guy is.
Just shows that a person can do unhinged things
Yeah.
and not be insane in the way that they are pragmatic about their own end.
Right. I mean, he believed that he would just be coming back.
That is another bifurcation on the topic. That is not really what I'm talking about.
True. My bad.
Really, what the question was is, do you believe in fate, or do you believe that there? I understand. I'm trying to just reiterate that I don't believe in fate. Kevin believes in fate, I think, more than
in the macro. I believe in fate.
Yeah.
In the micro, I do not.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
That's what I'm talking about. You're allowed
Meaning
to make.
that I believe there are parameters that, like, meaning I'm born. Their fate is I'm going to die. I have no control over that. What I do within that time is my own.
I see. So you believe that we are sort of given an ignition sequence, and then we're given a deignition or decommission sequence. And
we can't exceed the law of order. That everything that lives must die.
There is the only evidence I can say that gives any of these theories credence is the fact that no matter what any of us have tried to do throughout history, no one comes back.
We all die.
And everybody expires.
But I think the other part of it, too, is when people think of fate or destiny, it's like, it's usually very trivial things like we were destined to meet, or we were...
silly stuff.
Think about
I don't believe in any of that.
But think about the Christian God, right? What is the ultimate show of power? Die, come back. No one can do that. No one has done that. It's the ultimate show of power.
Except in the mummy.
If
like
you
the
are
F word.
Christian, you believe that has
But my point is that it's like the F word in a curse word argument. It just sort of trumps like you can't say bullshit to someone after somebody's dropped an F bomb on it. It just like
You can, but it's a
weaker.
subpar, weaker word.
Like what the ultimate thing is dying and returning, and it's irrefutable. And yes, I understand Christians believe that has occurred, and and that people believe that occurred.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I don't. I spent a long time with that one.
Yeah.
There's just maybe it happened. Whatever.
I mean, the mummy returns.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brendan Fraser doesn't have hair. It's just a wig.
Yeah,
he got his hair
just
burned
wears
off a
a
long time ago.
hairpiece.
It's been a wig since like Encino Man when he was wheezing the
That's
juice.
fine. That's
what was the movie where he was in a band with Adam Sandler?
Empire Records, I think it was called.
No, it's
Is it?
Airheads.
Oh, Airheads, yeah.
They're out of control.
Airheads is the one.
Yeah.
You're right. Empire Records is the one with Liv Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
She that was her first sort of movie foray into acting.
Liv Tyler, Liz Taylor.
Nope.
Who are the differences? What are the differences? between those
Aerosmith.
two
That's
people?
the difference.
Steven Tyler is the difference.
Steven Tyler.
I went to get
Yes.
lunch yesterday at my friendly neighborhood Subway.
Ah, yes.
No.
You like to frequent that place.
I
do
I
too.
have found that
You love a Subway as
Yeah.
well. You do. Half the time I call you, you're like, I'm about to go get Subway.
Yeah, I get a Subway quite a bit.
honestly, their sandwiches are low in calories, and you can get fresh veggies there. And
Yeah.
if you're looking to eat something that is semi-healthy, then it's a good choice. I know in years past, a lot of people have talked about their bread wasn't even classified bread because it was a shipped yeast product that needed an active ingredient to become bread.
So it was inactive yeast?
It was inactive, so it couldn't be classified as bread at the time.
How do you activate inactive yeast?
Well, the point is that it was that kept it this way so that mold wouldn't be in, so they could ship the pre-made bread without it.
China.
No, it's made in the U.S., but so they could ship the bread without it molding.
Yeah.
And so then the active ingredient was added at the store level and then cooked. But people got this news bit and said, well, Subway's bread's not even classified as bread because it's got all these things in it, but it doesn't have the thing in it that makes it bread. And it's like, well, we did that so we could ship it. So now Subway put a lot of time and effort into making their breads better. And they
so
make
their
them
bread
on
is
site.
actually bread now?
Now the bread is sourced locally from each, I guess as I understand it, in the state. There's a state supplier for each one, and so they get that from
How
that
much
state
sugar
supplier.
does it contain?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Good.
It's pretty good. And
Not
so
like
anyway,
McDonald's.
I went in and I got a wrap. I hadn't had one of their wraps, and so I wanted to try a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been in there, and the lady who was working, I've talked to her several times, and she's told me stories about where she used to work, and I used to work near there, and so we have been to the same places.
So she has viewed your visage.
Yeah, she's seen me. She's seen me
on
before,
multiple
and we've
occasions.
talked, and like she's seen me enough and talked to me enough that I can tell that she isn't just doing her job. Like sometimes when we're at the cash register, like when somebody spends longer talking to you than is just more than they would spend with
Yeah.
like
I
if
just
they're
assume they're
trying to get the customer
lonely.
out of there. It's not a lonely thing. I think that she found. Okay, so that's part of this story.
Anyway, sorry.
She found me easy to talk to is the point, I guess.
Ooh,
or
easy
personable
to talk to.
in some way. But I went in there to get my wrap, and I'm standing there, and I know that she gets lunch rushes and that she deals with tons of people per day because she looks up at me, and after taking my order, she goes, "You look very familiar." And I was like, "Yeah, I've been in here before. We've talked before. I come in here semi-regularly." And she goes, "Well, yeah, I've noticed you have a homely face, and that it makes you easy to talk to."
That's rude. That's real rude.
And there's a line sort of backed up.
And no one said anything?
Well, I hear the lady like next to me just go, "Oh, whoa." Like she's just like, and like a
Jeez.
couple of other people like snickered. And so it gets kind of
Snickered?
quiet. Well, they were just like, what? Like, because the individual this lady's very loud, gregarious personality,
Okay.
a big talker, big talk with her hands, and so everyone in the place heard it.
Yeah.
And so I said, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes me memorable."
Did anyone say anything else?
Well, the joke was I said that because she didn't remember me.
Yeah.
Right.
So
She's like, "I don't remember you, but you have a homely face."
there's two phases to Subway, which is the ordering and bread choosing, sandwich choosing phase.
Yeah, and then you get
And
passed
then
on
the
to
topping,
the next person.
topping
Yeah.
and veggie phase. And usually there's two people. In this occasion, on this particular lunch rush, it's just her. So I
okay.
transitioned from her to her. And so she's
Great.
like, "Veggies?" And the lady next to me is like, she just goes, she leans over super quiet. She goes, "Well, if you're homely, then I need to reevaluate my choices."
What?
And I was like, whoa.
Choices in what?
No, information not forthcoming, okay? I didn't get any more than that. I guess
She's like, "Whoa, this person thinks you're homely,
If
so
I'm
therefore,
ugly,
maybe
her choice must be really
maybe I'm
ugly.
hideous.
Yeah, or
like,
she is,
maybe
or
I'm,
her choice is.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't. I didn't
okay.
really. I
Maybe
didn't
her
really know how to
husband
take
is a
it.
disgusting invalid.
You know how people sometimes when you're in a situation will like lean over and be like,
Yeah, literally everywhere I go, somebody's giving
But
me
like
their
sometimes
opinion.
it's just like that. It's just like just gibberish, like, and you're just like, I didn't really catch it, but I don't care enough about it to
Great.
re-ask what they said. So I'm just gonna let it ride.
Yes.
And in this case, I didn't want to be mean because I do come into that store
You do, yeah,
regularly.
yeah.
So I just let it hang there.
Yeah. Like a
And
nail.
I think that the lady, when she's heard, I think she heard the other lady. And when we got to the cash register, she had rung me up and she goes, all right, I need to tell you, I meant comely, not homely. I said the wrong word.
That is the wrong word.
And I was like, yeah. So it got me thinking like.
At least she realized it though.
Well, it was, but the awkwardness is the fact that in the
You
subway
do
experience.
have a comely face.
Well, thank you. You as
You're
well.
well. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
In Subway, the experience is sort of a assembly line situation. And so when they get these online orders that come in, they go in front sometimes of your order. So
Yes.
it as I had ordered my sandwich, she gets a few online orders that she has to do. So several minutes drag out while we all stand in line after
that's
she had said
awful.
this. And then the whole making of my sandwich and then finally to the cash out is when
So she had
announces-
enough time to think about it and be like, oops.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah, she went from insulting you to complimenting
Well, like
you.
everybody was just kind of just like, they made like nobody wanted to. I'm surprised that many people kind of knew what the word homely meant or like took it in.
I mean, I
in
used
that-
to refer to many things as homely, so I
Like-
feel
like
like,
pets
it's a
usually,
common
yeah.
thing.
For animals,
like,
I hear it
yes,
usually, like
animals,
a
but what a homely dog.
I have heard people say like, "Oh, that's a homely
That's a
baby."
homely- Yeah.
Like, oh, nothing worse than a homely baby.
Oh,
There really is
I
nothing worse.
know.
But it got me thinking
Homely
about.
is a hedgehog.
It got me thinking about
I
how
love
many
hedgehogs.
times in my life I have encountered people using a word either in the moment or consistently, like in a work situation or whatever,
Yeah.
incorrectly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I used to obviously play in different rock bands in the past.
Obviously.
Okay. Well, I'm saying obviously to you.
Obviously to me.
I used to do this.
Yes.
This fruitless
used to do
action.
this.
And back when I used to do
Fruitless
this thing, I would meet different guitar players and stuff, you
Yeah.
know, and this one particular guy that was always older when I had first started I was trying to put a metal band together.
Ooh.
He would talk about guys like Steve Vai and Yngwie Malmsteen, like very fast guitar players. Yeah. Soloists and stuff.
Yeah.
And this guy was pretty good, and I was okay, but like I was trying to get to that level at that time, and that's what I cared about. And he would describe these guitar players, and he would just be like, and he had kind of this like weird lisp thing. I don't know why. I never really asked.
Some people just have
When
a
you're
list.
15 or whatever, and you're talking to like someone in their late 20s or early 30s,
Yeah.
you don't really.
It's because their parents didn't put them in speech therapy when they were like 4 or 5 when they realized, he
He's
might
like-
grow out of this, and then they never do.
He's like, these guitar players, man, they are nemesis.
Nemesis?
And I was like, you know them? And he's like, well, I don't know them, but they're playing us so good. They're like a nemesis, man. They're so good. They're guitar player. And I'm just like that part in Princess Bride where Nina goes,
I do not
I do
think
not
it
think that's what it
means
means. Or
what
what
you
do you
think
think
it
it means?
means.
And he kept using it, and no one ever like we'd be in a group of people, and he'd be like, "Oh man, that band is so good. Everyone in that band's a nemesis, man." And I'm just like
Like
all
Mike
of them-
Tyson?
all of them are like. He wasn't as bad as Tyson, but kind of like that. On the end of words and S's,
just had a
it would be this like a feather in his mouth,
Yeah.
or like a hair from a salon. True.
A hair from a salon?
True. Anyway, he would have this talk, and finally, I was just thinking to myself, "You don't know these guys." I was like, "Why you keep saying they're your enemy?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Do you like? Is that how you get psyched up to get better, or like?" I
Yeah.
finally confronted him about
Yeah.
it, and he was like, "What do you mean, man?"
You
And I
keep
was
saying
like,
nemesis.
"You keep saying nemesis, and that means enemy, like mortal enemy, or at least
Right.
Yeah,
rival."
like your life's enemy.
And he's like, no, man. I go, I think you mean virtuoso, or you mean, I don't know, good guitar player word.
Yeah.
What's another word for that? Like,
That's their forte, or like that's
Yeah.
their
Not nemesis. I can
not
tell you that.
nemesis. Yeah,
dude, is there
no.
another word for that? Like, I mean,
Virtuoso is like
virtuosos are like our guitar god, like guitar world.
they are a Van Halen.
Yeah.
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 I don't know that there's any other word for that. It's interesting.
Come
that
on,
he would
music
choose that.
degree. What's another word for virtuoso? Soloist.
No, but you can be a terrible soloist
That's true. Yeah, that doesn't virtuoso
TikTok
means.
proves that.
for real.
Are you
For
ready? Are you
real.
ready to try out my segment that I've done before that you at first did not like, but I think that you'll like now.
Am I choosing differences between different things?
Yes, this would be.
You believe in fate, so you've already chosen.
I've already chosen.
Because you don't
it's
have
already,
any free will.
It's predestined.
Because you don't have any free
will
will, and
happen regardless of whether I want it to or not.
It makes sense
it's
because the music that she listens to, the words in it kind of do sound like Sims, don't actually have words. They don't speak
I
words.
prefer it when I don't really understand what's going on.
I think that's the way synthwave gets saved. The only way that the instrumental people would like vocal synthwave probably is if it was in Sims.
Oh, it is the midnight. The midnight is in The Sims 4.
Yeah, I know that. I heard that. Yeah,
It's so
Midnight is an
good.
artist. You can look him up.
It's so good.
Which
I'll have
would
to
you
show you,
rather
Kevin.
have? You have to choose between one of these or the other. There is no now. You slow your roll immediately. I can see your gears turning. There is no asking of outline questions. There is no what am I wearing? How did I get there? Did
Fine, I will
did I
dictate
get here?
what
Am
I
I in
did.
Vegas? Am I being taped?
It's
is this
just
on
what
TikTok?
it is
Am I
now.
making yes, it's
It
exactly
is
who you
now
are.
who I am, where I'm at.
The theoretical ways you have achieved arriving at this and
Yeah.
why you're choosing this can be
whatever.
suspended for this.
Great,
Just
great.
answer.
Great and good, guru.
Kevin, is that clear? It's you I'm talking to clearly.
Yeah.
Right.
I know
I'm
that
good.
you like to put a lot of minutia and
do.
details into answering questions, so I
Good.
feel like
I
I
like to
needed to
talk a
set that
whole
up.
lot.
Yeah.
Kevin talks constantly.
So I'm going to ask him this first. Kevin, would you rather be trapped in a small room with 10,000 tarantulas for 10 minutes or eat 10 tarantulas in 10 minutes?
I would rather consume them than be trapped with them.
Same.
I would rather just be in the room with them. Yeah.
Actually, I'm changing my answer. They
Eating
may
10.
not eat me.
Joe Rogan, I'm
They
ready
may
for
not
the
bite
fear
me.
factor.
They're probably good.
Wait,
the
how
bird-
big is
the-
the
Yeah.
room?
It's this room.
Do I get to eat them
I
with
could be in a
21?
room with 10 tarantulas. That's fine.
10,000.
10,000 tarantulas?
Would you be in a room with 10,000 tarantulas for 10 minutes or eat 10 tarantulas?
Oh, I'll eat 10
in
tarantulas.
10 minutes.
I'll eat 10 tarantulas.
In 10 minutes.
I'm going to fry them up and eat them.
They're living.
How do you know? You didn't specify
because
that.
it's 10
I made it
tarantulas.
what I wanted to
I
make
watch a
it
whole lot
because
of
Because it
David
doesn't
and
say
Afraid.
any of the ones in the room are
I'm all
dead.
right with it.
I'm going to
So-
fry them up and eat them.
Yeah, I'm all right with it.
You're going to fry them up. You're
Yeah.
in here.
No, you got it's like Naked and Afraid. You just got to eat them.
Right.
I have to eat them live.
They're here crawling on the table, 10 of them, and you have to eat them in 10 minutes or 9,990 fall from the ceiling and you have to stand in there for 10 minutes. Which do you choose? You have to eat, chew, and swallow.
Okay, but at the end of the 10 minutes, they just poof, disappear.
Yes.
I guess I'll just do that because I can just stand there and meditate and they
You
won't
hate
bite
'em
me,
that much.
maybe.
You
And maybe
eat
won't bite
them.
me.
I'd eat 10 of them.
If you're not like stepping on them or doing things, they're not going to bite
and
you.
then put it in your mouth and chew it up.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
10
I'm
times.
not going to
I'm
do that.
alright
If
with
I
it.
can't cook them, no.
Boy.
I'm just going to stand there and close my eyes and meditate. And it'll
I
be
imagine
fine.
the consistency of a tarantula would be somewhat
Crunchy.
crunchy and gooey.
Gooey
It'd be like
in
a
the
Cadbury
abdomen.
cream egg, but without any of the goodness.
Yeah, it'd be a Cadbury cream egg with nastiness.
I've ate a grasshopper before.
Like
It
a
wasn't that
Cadbury
bad.
cream egg filled with bird
Yeah, but
poop.
was it dried or
Yeah, it was
cooked?
alive.
It was alive?
Yeah.
What
You
did
ate
you
a
eat?
live
A grasshopper.
grasshopper?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
The poor thing.
What are you eating bugs for?
Why are you eating
I
that
didn't
bug?
do it this weekend or anything.
I'm sorry.
Just like,
I need to hear
Kevin,
the story right
guys,
now.
I can't
Kevin.
make it
It's not
this
even-
Saturday. Like,
Kevin,
we're
I
out
need
in
to
the
hear
field
the
eating
story.
bugs.
Young men do.
No,
They
they
challenge
don't.
each other to.
Oh, this is the situation.
Yeah.
You were challenged and
Probably
you ate a
his older
live
brother, maybe.
grasshopper.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
So
Older
what
brother?
did you just chunk and then swallow it as quick as you could, or how did that work?
I had to chew it. Yeah.
Was your brother put you up to it?
No.
Just a friend?
What happened?
Friends.
I didn't. do
Friends,
this.
and you
No,
just
this
ate
is
a
before
live
times.
grasshopper.
Yeah.
The poor thing.
It's really not that big a
Oh,
deal.
they have them covered in chocolate in Mexico,
Right,
and they're
it's a
this big. I've
delicacy.
But
eaten
they're
them that way.
dead.
Well, but they
Eating
probably weren't
something
when they got 'em.
live.
Before they were covered in chocolate, they weren't.
I agree. I saw this video of food in Japan being served
I
like
don't
living.
eat live
Yeah.
things. That's
like
not
a
nice.
frog there, and they cut its leg off, and it's like, "Brrr," and their leg is moving around, and the girl picks it up. Or like these YouTube people that try to eat like
Octopuses and it's
whole-
like
sometimes they
sucks
don't.
to their
yeah,
face and
yeah,
it
it's
like
really gross.
gives them boils.
I
and
would
stuff.
stand in the room with the tarantulas as well.
Yeah, I'd
so.
stand.
Would you rather have a baby's head with your body or a baby's body with your head?
I already have a baby's hat.
So do you.
So I guess you'll just have that then.
Yeah.
You would keep
A
you would
baby's
take
head
a baby's head
with
on
my
your-
body.
So you kind of look like those guys from Borderlands.
Yeah.
Like when you shoot them in the head and they have a little head underneath.
My head is small, but it looks like an adult's head.
But you'd have a baby's head or a baby's body.
I don't want a baby's body. I'm short as it is. Like,
Well,
imagine
also
being just like
ineffectual.
ineffectual and
fragile,
globular.
Normal. Yeah, you'd have a baby's
Yeah.
body with a human
Gelatinous.
head. And I don't know that a human's. The reason, of course, I'm choosing body as well and have a little head is because I don't know that a baby's body could support
The
a full
spine
size,
probably
like
couldn't
12 to
support.
15 pound adult human head.
I don't think my
Doesn't
head
the
is
human
12
head weigh 8 pounds?
My,
I think it's
my
12.
head's
12.
probably like
The
9
Jerry
pounds.
Maguire quote: "The human head weigh 8 pounds." Isn't that what that kid says?
It's probably, yeah, like.
It is 12.
Well, my
12
dad
pounds
used
is
to
the
say,
average
do you
human
want to
head.
lose 10 pounds of ugly fat? Cut off your head.
Whoa. That explains a lot.
Great gift, Dad.
Thanks. It's been sure nice talking to you, Dad.
Nice.
Would you rather be a centaur or a mermaid/merman?
Mermaid.
Oh, centaur.
Mermaid all the way.
I think I would be a centaur.
I would love to be a siren and woo people to their death.
I get pruny.
Says
in
a lot
water.
about you.
It does. And also,
I'd like to
you
take
get to
people on my
sing a
back
lot.
and, like,
I love singing.
Troll up through the forest. Like
I love
Mr.
singing,
Tumnus.
though. You get to sing so much as a mermaid.
I'd start a brewery. I'd be like, I call it Centaur Brewing.
I'd pick out
I'd be like,
beautiful
what
shells.
can I get you? Clock, 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 clock. It's all set up like a stable. Like you
nice.
sit and there's like a, you know,
That's nice. I just pick out
I just poop on
Would
the
you-
floor.
would you
beautiful
serve other
shells
centaurs?
all the time.
No, I
you
serve
know,
everybody.
All right. Well, then,
serves
yeah.
everybody.
I could poop whenever I want because I'm a horse. You know, I'm just kind of like, sorry about that.
I don't know if they can control it. I think they,
The block.
when you got to go, you got to go. When
I
you're a
don't
horse.
want to go to Centaur Brewing though because it literally smells like shit there. Because the,
Centaur
I was talking to the owner and he just
West.
starts pooping. Like,
You could kind of live this dream now, just getting like a half man, half horse costume.
Yeah.
And opening a brewery.
I believe if you were a billionaire, you could open a brewery and people would come there and you could just poop while you're working.
What? Sick.
Like, yeah, if
Oh.
you were Jeff Bezos, you could just have,
But
a,
you
have a brewery
wouldn't.
and poop.
Well, you would have to work within your poop all the time.
I'm just saying, horses just go. Like one thing I've noticed about horses and most animals is if you're riding a horse and someone's in front of you, it just goes.
Yeah.
And if I was a centaur, I feel like the horse part of me
The
feels-
human part of you wouldn't take over.
feels a
and be like,
Taco Bell coming
"Eh."
from earlier. You know, I got a steak chalupa Baja that needs to come out.
Sick.
I'm gonna dump
Oh
it right
my
there in
gosh.
front of a group of
No
college
one
girls
would
with
come
Centaur
to your
Brewing.
business because think of that stinky steak
But they don't-
chalupa poop.
Yeah, but also they'd
Yeah, but
probably
people visit Mackinac Island and they're fine with it.
maybe it would
Yeah,
be
but
like
those
an open
horses
air
aren't
bar.
eating chalupas.
Might as well be.
No.
Human poop is very egregious.
Yeah.
Very foul. Very foul. I would never visit
Like
your
I would
establishment.
take the day off if I had Indian, perhaps, or like
I hope so.
here at Centaur Brewing, we take explosive diarrhea very seriously.
Yeah.
We do not come in.
And I would just sing all day with dinglehoppers, combing my wet hair and picking out different shells and different colors and abalone, and I would just adorn myself as a
But if
beautiful
you're a mermaid,
goddess
you
I
live
am.
in saltwater. Your skin's gonna be terrible.
I don't have to live in saltwater. I could live in Lake
Who's
Michigan.
heard of a freshwater mermaid?
Why not?
You would live in the Great Lakes?
Maybe.
You would be a Great Lakes mermaid?
I don't know that I would, honestly, because like it's so cold in the winter.
you're still a person on the top.
I'm so cold in the winter. I'd probably just go south and like live in the
Get
Caribbean.
eaten by sharks instantly. 'cause
Salt water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's fine. I'm fine with salt
It's
water.
so
I
cold
guess.
in the D.
It is.
It's so cold in the D.
Would you rather wear the same bra for a month or wear the same thong for a week?
Bra for a month for sure.
This is just for her.
For sure, bra for a month.
Bra for a month.
Rusty.
Yeah, because
Oof.
Because-
bras can get.
yeah. Well, I could wash it.
It says wear it. I assume the consistency here is that you're just wearing it for a week, not washing it.
But honestly, like if you don't change your panties,
Sorry, bra,
ladies,
for a month.
you can get some sort of infection. So I would always encourage the wearing
Medical
of the.
advice with Kaylin.
You're not gonna get sick from wearing the same bra for a month. You're gonna get sick
We
from
might.
wearing.
You would get sick wearing the same panties for a week?
I mean, it depends on what time of the month it is.
Is panties an acceptable word anymore? Or is that not a word?
What do you mean?
Panties. Is
Yeah,
that
I mean
a
it's a
word?
category. Like if you
It's a
go
category.
and
It's like a
shop
thong.
Yeah, it's
online,
a category.
panties thongs.
Yeah. And
I feel like a thong
that-
is a subcategory of a panty.
and that pertains to the amount of fabric
But it's
covering
a-
left or right.
Yeah, I don't imagine that men would ever wear a panty because
They wear briefs.
panties are there's panties and briefs. I'm not really sure what the real difference is, other than I assume that panties have lace, but not
One
all
has a
panties have
hole
lace
for the
because you could
penis.
have a cotton panty. You know,
Gotta have an
I'm not
exit.
really sure why that is.
I have boxers that don't have an area, or not. I have briefs, excuse me, that are like boxer
you have
briefs.
briefs,
Well, whatever things I wear. You know, the things
A
that
boxer
have,
brief.
boxer
Yeah,
briefs.
that's what I just said.
Well, I'm just saying briefs are with no leggies.
Sometimes
It'd be
they
like
don't
whitey
have an
tighties,
exit.
you know?
What I mean? They don't have an egress.
Same.
And then it really puts me off to wearing them. Like if I know I'm
Yeah.
going to like a sporting event or someplace where I know I'm
Yeah,
going to
because
be
then you
using the
gotta like
bathroom,
drop trow totally in order to
I
like.
have to take my whole stuff out. Yeah,
Evacuate.
It really is. It's terrible. Would you rather wear wet socks for a year
No.
or never wear socks again?
never wear socks again.
I agree.
I'm gonna wear wet socks
Easily.
for 10 minutes.
For a
No,
year.
no.
So anytime
the
you
The worst
squish
feeling
between your
ever.
toes and
imagine you're going to do, you're going to work.
No.
And you have to go into the office.
Nope.
And
Nope.
You have your wet socks on
No,
all day. With
I
your
will
stink feet.
be sockless, and I could wear heels all the time. So it'd
You
be
would have
totally
a way
fine.
out. Yeah, we would just have to just like.
I'd
be
wear
like, no,
heels
this
or flip
sucks. Get
flops.
socks tattooed.
Perfect.
down.
Yeah.
Tattooed socks. That's funny. But would you get the long socks tattooed? I saw this boy the other day. Boy, man, whatever. He's probably between the ages of 17 and 22. I can't tell how old a person is when they're in that age range. But anyway,
Broccoli
he
haired?
was. No, he had.
No cap?
He had flowing.
For real.
Titanic age Leo DiCaprio hair. I enjoy that hair.
Did he come up behind you?
He what?
Train's
There's
coming.
a train. Do you
Yep.
hear it? There's a train.
It is a train filled with wine barrels. That's what I like to imagine. It's not
Anyway.
coming here, of course.
I was going to get my mail, and this
past
boy, this lad, was out getting into his vehicle, and he was wearing these khaki shorts with these longish socks that
tell
went
him
up
he was homely?
mid-calf. I did not speak to him. And some New Balance sneakers.
Oh.
And
He was
I
ahead of
just
his
looked,
time.
I saw his legs, and they were rather thin, and I just thought, oh, it reminds me of my grandpa. And then I'm like, everybody's wearing old people clothes now in old people styles.
That would say maybe that about you if you were wearing something that's from before that hasn't.
Oh,
come
for
back
sure.
in.
I'm elderly. But like,
you, but I mean
anyway,
you-
it just
you-
reminded me of my
you as
grandpa,
in
and he
the-
passed away a year ago. And so I was just like, oh,
Well,
grandpa.
what about
But he was a
sadness?
young 20-year-old lad. And I was like, oh, look at that.
Well,
Anyway.
between the ages of 17 and 22 is what we established.
Which I figure 20 is like in the middle of that. I don't know how
I'm
old
going
he
to
was.
say
He was a
18
young
to
lad.
that because I'm not going to include
weren't there.
minors. No, I just leave minors out of any of these because.
Well, I don't know if he was a minor or not. I can't really
Would
tell. I
you
just
rather
don't
always
associate
wait
with those people.
in a 30-minute line for coffee, or always skip the line, but your coffee is $10 every time for life?
If I drank coffee, I would skip the line and $10.
Each time, I think
Yeah.
me too. I think
I just have no patience. If there's an option to pay to not be in the queue with the rest of the denizens of Starbucks or whatever,
I'd wait.
to try to
I'm good with 30
subside,
minutes.
You would wait.
Yeah.
30 minutes.
You would say
Fine
the
with
cost. Let's say
Absolutely
so. Let's
not.
say your coffee.
Absolutely not.
Let's say that-
no.
Okay.
Sorry,
Let's say that
my
the jeez, you're very dramatic today. I can tell you've had a very dramatic week. I wish that we could drape you in the robe. We could flash the robe, the Kaylin robe on the screen because
I love that robe. I need to buy it.
She told me the other day, I wish right now that I could just lay down and go, in this robe.
I just would like to faint on a chaise lounge, like
Yeah.
in that robe.
You're saying that, let's say your coffee's $5, you wouldn't be interested in doubling the cost to never wait in that time. You're saying
No,
that the
I'm
No,
okay
because
with
you have
the
to
wait.
wait every time.
but the
Like,
savings
you
of
have to pay
$5
that every
worth
time.
the half an hour wait that you're guaranteed to
No.
wait. Even if you're the only one in line,
Yeah, I'm
it will
still
take
okay
you 30
with it.
minutes.
I
Forever.
don't
okay
even
with it.
probably make enough money. Technically, my time is probably not even worth that, but I have no patience.
Yeah, I'm not. As I approach 40,
Yeah.
I'm okay with slowing down on some things
Okay, but like,
and having it take time.
how many people talk to you in line on average?
I don't know. I always online order, so never in line.
Whoa.
I'm waiting 2 days for everything anyways.
He's got a point.
You're an Amazon.
Where are you going with
That
this?
or I'm the guy that orders
I'm
Subway.
just saying, saying. Sometimes, like every time I wait in a line, somebody has got to talk to me and tell
sound
me
so
about their
agitated
life
about it.
story.
You
And
don't like it?
no,
If you made this face, I'm sure they wouldn't. You don't
I
make
do
this
make
face.
this face.
No, you
They're
don't.
talking to me, and I'm just like,
She's not this mean.
Do I wait 30 minutes for the woman to call me homely?
yeah, there's
No,
that.
you wait 30 minutes for her to correct herself, and if she never does, you just drive away. You never
It's
come
usually
back.
elderly women, and they want to tell me about their life
No one
and their
talks to me in
daughter
line.
and
I
like
would
how
for-
they're causing them hell and like all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm really sorry about your luck.
There is no
person.
way that I would not. I would pay double to not wait in a 30
For
minute line.
sure.
Yeah.
I would always pay double unless it was like, $1,000 or whatever. Something
What do you
that I
think?
cannot actually afford.
What do you think about this?
This is great.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This is a very good Gewürz.
It's a delicious Gewurztraminer.
Yeah, I finished the small glass that I have. It was delicious.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the bottle's empty, guys, and that is going to do it for this edition of the Exciting Whites podcast. Let us
will.
know in the comments what you think. Would you do any of these things with your mouth as an adult? Would you? Have you been considering putting metal in your what? That's your
Would
mind.
you do anything with your mouth as an adult?
I'm just saying, would you put any of this metal in your
yes.
mouth willingly? Are we crazy? Are you living with braces as an adult? Tell us about it. We'd
Tell
like to
us
hear
about it. We want to hear your adult braces stories.
Are you religious and believe in fate? Are you not religious and believe in chaos? Don't tell us about it, because I think this discussion might go south on us in the comments if people do it. But
I
if
think
you
people
want
should
to,
tell us about it.
She thinks you should, but she likes to talk about this stuff. This subject doesn't make me uncomfortable. It's just that I never felt like I got to posit my view on it. But
Oh.
yeah, I just feel like that there is no proof of anything.
There
and,
isn't.
and the only thing that we can rely on is each other right now.
Yeah.
and that's something that I think
Yeah.
post COVID we could stand to do. a
Also,
little
for
better
those
with.
of you
But
listening on Spotify, please comment on our social media. We are everywhere.
if you have an anecdote or a thing about somebody using a word incorrectly or something, we would love to have it shared with us, because we'll probably talk about it and we'll probably bring it up again, and we'll probably spend 20 or 30 minutes accidentally on it, because this show just rolls.
It
Really does. Like,
It
and
do
that's
be
how
like
we roll.
that
So,
sometimes.
Anyway, we appreciate you guys watching. Have a good one. Take care.
Bye.